Howdyoo Oddballs, and welcome back to my channel. How are you all doing? Happy Monday everyone, it's the start of a new week, which means we're getting closer to Halloween. And to celebrate that, I am dressed as my favourite ooky spooky lady, Miss Evie Oddly. She is my favourite queen of all time, and this is my favourite season of all time. I'm so excited to talk to you guys about it. We're gonna have such a good time today. I also tried filming a get ready with me sort of unpopular opinions combo, but as I was doing it, my camera stopped recording and everything was lost. So if you want to see anything like that in the future, please let me know. I'm so down to do anything like that, even like Q&As and stuff. If you want to perhaps leave in the comments questions you want answered, things you want to know about me, if you want to be all nosy and shit, just let me know and I'd happily do a Q&A video at some point in the future. Now, as excited as I was to cover season 11, it dawned on me how few seasons we have left to cover, and I do have a few ideas for when I finish, but if you can think of anything that you want to see me do, please let me know, because I'd love to create all these different projects for you all. I am excited about this one though. As I said, it's my favourite season, so I have a lot to talk about. And you know what, let's just jump into it, shall we? In 15th place, we have episode 11, Bring Back My Queens, which is Nina West versus Silky Nutmeg Ganache to No Scrubs by TLC. Meh. This lip sync is the most infuriating for a number of reasons. The first is the fact that this is the first time both queens have had to lip sync for their lives, and all season long, Silky was bragging that she is this incredible lip syncer that would wipe the floor with any queen. Then when she finally gets a chance, she delivers the sloppiest performance I have ever seen. Secondly, Nina was a frontrunner in the season, and not to mention she was a fan favourite. And to see her stumble like this was just too difficult to watch. Then, the most illogical outcome of Silky staying and Nina going happened after Silky's messy reveal, slipping, tripping, a poorly timed split, and a hair malfunction. Nina stood in one place, and that's probably the worst thing that happened with her performance. Rigor Morris, girl. There's no best part. In 14th place, we have episode 3, Diva Worship, which is Akira C. Davenport versus Honey Davenport versus Plastique Tiara versus Raja O'Hara versus Scarlet Envy versus Sugarcane to Waiting for Tonight by Jennifer Lopez. This is just uncomfortable to watch. There's far too much happening between the six of them to even comprehend what's going on. The edit seems to want to focus mostly on Honey Davenport and her desperate attempts to be seen, jumping from the stage and flailing around. It's not stunning. It's just awkward, and she got all the wrong type of attention because obviously she was eliminated. It's all messy, the queens can't move anywhere, and it's just so hard to watch that I can't choose the best part. I physically cannot. I hope Ru never pulls a stunt like that again, because it's almost unbearable to watch. In 13th place, we have episode 1, What You Packin', which is Kahana Montrese versus Soju to The Best of Both Worlds by Hannah Montana. This lip sync is really, really forgettable, and I think there's a few reasons why. First of all, Soju really did nothing in this lip sync, but I think that mostly comes down to what she was wearing. You know, it's very big and bulky and restricts her movement. Also, Kahana really wasn't a notable personality in the first episode, so her bottom 2 placement was kind of unmemorable. I will say Kahana proved in this lip sync that she's a really fierce performer and can do lots of impressive stunts, especially in the best part of the lip sync, where she does a backflip, a standing backflip. It's just unmemorable and kind of awkward. In 12th place, we have episode 5, Monster Ball, which is Ariel Versace versus Sugarcane to I'm Your Baby Tonight by Whitney Houston. Now, before I want to get into this lip sync, I just want to say how disappointed in this challenge I was. If I was on Drag Race, the Monster Ball would be the one category that I would really, really want to do. And none of the queens served in this. I was mostly disappointed in Evie, to be honest. I really thought she would nail this challenge, but Okay, so apart from the glaringly obvious moment to talk about, there's a couple of things I want to mention first. Sugar's outfit is more than enough to warrant this lip sync a low placement. It's horrendous. I don't know what she was going for. Also, the camera mostly focuses on Ariel and how she's kinda good. So, until the incident, it's kinda setting her up to win this lip sync and then makes it all the more bitter when she falls on her ass. Sugar really isn't doing a lot. She's emoting with her face, but that's about it. And then Ariel slips and falls, and America, it isn't stunning. She might be in the bottom. Well, we already know she's in the bottom, Monique, thank you very much. But the best part of this lip sync for me is when Ariel musters up the courage to pick herself up and then performs harder, falling to her back and emoting in a vocal run. In 11th place, we have episode 7, Farm to Runway, which is Akira C. Davenport versus Raja O'Hara to Strut by Sheena Easton. I've probably mentioned a few times now that season 11 is my all-time favourite season. Controversial, I know. But I had genuinely forgotten about this lip sync, which is very surprising, given that Raja is the lip sync assassin of the season, and that Akira was a frontrunner and made it to the top. Raja, as I say, was the lip sync assassin of the season, surviving 3 lip syncs, and this being her 4th. With that being said, she seemed defeated in this lip sync, and there's a distinct lack of energy, which is juxtaposed by her really cocky confessionals. Akira gives us attitude and sass, but there's a couple of moments where I think she's a little uncertain on the words. I could be wrong, it might just be the editing, but that's what I saw. The only memorable moment really is where Raja's hair falls off, and that plus her 4th bottom placement probably sealed her fate as going home this episode. But the best part of the lip sync, I went with when Akira mimes playing the trumpet. You know, pretending to play an instrument in a lip sync always gets a laugh from the judges, so it's an easy manoeuvre. In 10th place, we have episode 4, Trump, the Rusical, which is Mercedes Iman Diamond versus Raja O'Hara to Living in America by James Brown. There's both positives and negatives to this lip sync, so let's start with the positives. Raja, unlike the previous lip sync, really embodied this song and had a lot of fun with it. Her energy was right, her dancing was right, and she really didn't take it so seriously. Mercedes, however, seemed really awkward and a little uncertain in herself. She wasn't the most confident on the words, but I would put that down to a language barrier, in all honesty. She didn't really dance all that much, and she kept faffing with her headpiece because it kept falling off, which was a harsh contrast from her work bitch lip sync. But the best part of this one is when Raja drops and then kicks her leg on the way up and kicks Mercedes out of the competition. In 9th place, we have episode 14, Grand Finale, which is Brooklyn Heights versus Silky Nutmeg Ganache to Bootylicious by Destiny's Child. I personally think this is the worst of the 3 finale lip syncs, and here's why. Like Eureka's lip sync to If in the season 10 finale, it was really obvious that Silky had reveal on reveal, costume and wig. So when they happened, it wasn't as shocking. Even the reveal of the blue hair splitting in half, it's unique but kind of bad because of how thirsty that wig is. Speaking of reveals, Brooke's shoe reveal was really hilarious and really impressive, which was possibly the best part of the lip sync. However, her performing on point and all the splits and kicks were things that we've seen her do the entire season. It was impressive, but not that impressive. In 8th place, we have episode 9, Ladp, which is Plastique Tiara versus Vanessa Vanjie Mateo to Hood Boy by Fantasia. Okay, so I have a bit of a conspiracy theory about this lip sync, and hear me out. I think after production found out Brooke and Vanjie were in a relationship, and with Brooke's insane track record, it was destined for the last lip sync before the finale to be against them two. Now here, with Vanjie's deserving bottom placement, she would have won against anybody because of that. They'd have pushed her all the way to the finals, and she couldn't have lost a lip sync, hence the camera being mostly on her the entire lip sync. Plastique didn't deserve to be in the bottom. She had the same critiques as Silky, but a much better runway. But with Silky being pushed to the finale as well, I feel like they had to sacrifice Plastique. Sacrificed for no reason whatsoever. Plastique was not that bad in the challenge and didn't deserve to be in the bottom. It just winds me up. But anyway, the lip-sync performance. Vanjie shows us that she's a really good dancer, and this kind of music and this kind of song is the kind of thing she'd normally perform. Plastique proves to us that she's House of Edwards. She reopens Alyssa's dance corner. She does a couple of splits and tricks. Well, the splits that she does behind Vanjie, and I'm like, that's not how you get attention. I get so mad with the production in season 11. I love it. The cast are amazing, but the production, it winds me up. But the best part of this lip sync is when Vanjie holds her hair and death drops while Plastique, belts. In 7th place, we have episode 6, The Drag Olympics, which is Raja O'Hara versus Scarlet Envy to Last Dance by Donna Summer. This lip sync was a serve. The song choice is brilliant, and for some reason, even the Runway theme works with it too. Raja really, really turned it out, channeling Donna Summer and just serving the perfect attitude for it. Scarlett really worked it too, cutting up her dress to reveal gold flared trousers underneath and pouring glitter all over herself. The queens also have good chemistry with one another on stage and have a lot of fun, which is nice to see after they had a few disputes throughout the season, so this was really nice to see. Scarlett brings a lot of theatrics, and Raja brings lots of energy and dance moves, and it's just so fun and so good. The best part for me is the very end where Raja lands in a split and Scarlett does a weird little death drop thing. It's very cute, and it's a nice end to a really good song. In 6th place, we have episode 2, Good God Girl, Get Out, which is Kahana Montrese versus Mercedes Iman Diamond to Work Bitch by Britney Spears. This is a severely underrated lip sync. Honestly, I hear nobody talking about it, and when I mention it, people are like, what's that one again? We know at this point that Kahana can dance and has a lot of really impressive stunts and tricks in her wheelhouse. And with Mercedes falling a little bit behind, it would be interesting to see how well she performed. And they both absolutely killed it. Both keeping up with the high energy song and really lip syncing for their lives. Mercedes just turned it out a little harder on the attitude aspect of the lip sync, which is probably why she stayed. But I do remember being really, really impressed the first time I saw this. And the best part for me is when Mercedes jumps into a split as Kahana backflips across the stage after the bridge of the song. In 5th place, we have episode 12, Queens Everywhere, which is Brooklyn Heights versus Vanessa Vanjie Mateo to Pride, A Deeper Love by Aretha Franklin. Now, we all knew this lip sync would eventually happen, but I was still just as gagged. Pitting the couple against each other must have been so heartbreaking for them, but it doesn't mean they didn't put up a fight. Both Brooke and Vanjie are insane performers, and their different performance styles both worked for the song. I'm really glad they didn't allow their relationship to get in the way of their performance, because what comes of it is a really fierce performance and a great storyline. Brooke plays up to her years as a ballerina, performing on point, and Vanjie gives us the attitude we would expect from Vanjie. I think personally, Vanjie kind of took a step back as to how she normally would perform to give Brooke a little bit more of a boost, and also this was Vanjie's 3rd time in the bottom, so it was very likely she'd go home anyway. But the best part for me is the climax when Brooke drops into a split and then Vanjie death drops. Ooh, I love it. In 4th place, we have episode 14, the grand finale, which is Akira C. Davenport versus Evie Oddly to SOS by Rihanna. I'm sorry, but Evie's outfit alone bumped this lip sync up so high. She looks amazing. I need them yellow boots in my life. I need them. Akira really delivers on this song, showing us dance moves and stepping away from that kind of pageant character that we have seen from Akira the entire season. We didn't get to see this kind of dancing from it, and it's really impressive. She does, however, look very nervous on her face, throughout the entire song, possibly because she knew she was going against the absolute powerhouse that was Evie, and she's also a fan favourite, so I feel like Akira was a little bit worried. She also blends into the background. Everything she's wearing is very small and it doesn't really stand out that much. Evie, however, eats the stage up. Like, she is emoting, she's providing comedy, and hitting us with some classic Evie moves. Free Britney. And the best part for me is when Akira does a questionable wig reveal and then like break dances away as Evie death drops into a split. In third place, we have episode 10, Drag-Ricadabra, which is Sugarcane versus Vanessa Vanjie Mateo to No More Drama by Mary J. Blige. First, I want to get something off my chest. Why the hell was Sugar even in the bottom for this episode? She literally did significantly better than 4 other queens in this challenge and was in the better group. Ugh, I could go on about this, but I'm not gonna. Back to the lip sync. This is such an underrated lip sync. Vanjie really said no more drama and threw off those bracelets like she was so sick and tired of underperforming, and this was like the fire being lit under her ass. Her performance was just raw emotion, and it's just passionate and really emotional and beautiful. Sugar really emotes with her face and gesture, screaming out the words and punching the air, fighting so hard to stay. I think my issue with season 11 is the lack of screen time that Sugar got for how far she made it into the competition. I know a lot of people think that as well, but this lip sync's a perfect example of it. The camera is almost always on Vanjie, always. But the best part of the lip sync is where Vanjie lets her hair down and lets all of her emotion out in the climax of the song with the most passion and emotion, and it sends chills down my spine. In second place, we have episode 8, Snatch Game at Sea, which is Brooklyn Heights versus Evie Oddly to Sorry Not Sorry by Demi Lovato. This was the double chantay of the season, and I am so glad it was, because both of these queens are absolute powerhouses. This is the first time either of the queens had really messed up, and they well and truly reclaimed their positions as frontrunners. We'd never seen anything like Evie before, with all these crazy backbends and contortions. And also I want to give a special mention to her really creative wig reveal by doing a front flip and just letting her other wig fall off. And it was interesting to see how Brooke would incorporate her ballet dance training into this kind of song, and she nailed it. This was an absolute show. There's splits, kicks, flips, dips,
and hips
on every beat. Ugh, bitch, gag. But the best part of the lip sync for me is when Evie jumps into the split as Brooke cartwheels across the stage at the chorus of the song. Two queens doing the same / similar things at the same time. Ugh, I love it. I love it. Now, as always, I'm just going to take this moment to say a quick thank you for watching my videos. I'm so close to reaching 100 subscribers, so thank you to everybody who is here watching, sharing, liking, commenting. It really means the world to me, and it's really helping this channel grow, and I can't do that without you guys, so thank you so much. If you enjoyed this video, please leave me a little thumbs up so I know that you're enjoying it. Leave a comment if you have any questions, queries, whatever. Please let me know, and also subscribe if you haven't already. I post fairly regularly, and speaking of which, I leave my Instagram and my Twitter in the description every single time. If you want to follow me on there, I post regular updates on when I'm going to be uploading, so you won't miss a thing. Now, let's get into the number 1 spot. In first place, of course, we have episode 14, the grand finale, which is Brooklyn Heights versus Evie Oddly to Edge of Glory by Lady Gaga. And here's why. Oh, Evie, isn't she beautiful? She looks stunning in this gown, and it's got her own oddly flair on it, and that makeup. I am in love with Evie Oddly, if you cannot tell. I'm her biggest fan. But I digress. I could talk about Evie for the rest of my life. Brooke takes the piss out of reveals by wearing a huge, oversized, obvious coat with "Here Comes the Reveal" on it, and then underneath she wears this stunning, sparkly bodysuit. My only issue with that is the colours of it makes her really blend into the background, and then with Evie in that huge gown that's red and gold, she really stands out, so I think that was Brooke's first mistake. This is both mine and my mum's favourite lip sync, and she pointed something out to me when we watched it. She said that throughout the beginning of the lip sync, where Brooke takes the lead with her dancing and Evie doesn't really do much, I think Brooke thought that she had this in the bag because Evie can't do all these bends and shit in that gown. But as Evie does that legendary reveal to reveal the fourth head behind hers, Evie had won the crown, and the crowd went mental, and from that point on, Brooke kept watching what Evie was doing, because she didn't have anything big and insane like that, and weird and unique. She was just dancing, and that's all she really had left, but Evie had won everyone over, and I don't know, it's very weird. Throughout it, Brooke just keeps watching what Evie's doing and focusing on that rather than what she's doing, I guess. But anyway, the best part of this lip sync for me is what I'd said already, but also I want to mention how beautiful this part is, where she spins around and you get to see the face on the other side with the eyes all lit up. Oh, this is possibly it's my favourite lip sync of all time. And Evie Oddly is my favourite queen of all time. And honestly, this was the best way they could have ended that season. So that is it for today's video. I really hope you've enjoyed this as much as I have. Talking about my favourite season is one of my favourite hobbies. That's so sad, but at least I get to share it with you guys. Up next is Across the Water to where I'm from, Drag Race UK. I can't wait to talk about this one. This is the first season I got to watch when it aired. I was so late on the bandwagon of Drag Race. I hate that I was, but I got to start with a good season, so that's the main thing. As always, thank you guys for watching. It means the absolute world to me that you guys are here and are enjoying my content. It's just a true blessing. It really is. If you've enjoyed this video, leave me a little like so I know that you're watching and that you're enjoying it. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!